What's going on, YouTube? I got some exciting stuff for you here. Got my hands on both the Shimano SLX XT and the SLX DC. Gonna do a quick kind of a comparison. I think it'd be more for the people if you're looking at, maybe getting a new reel for the summer, and you're in that price range. You're not sure which one you want, what technology you want. I'll talk about a little bit of the differences between the two, and hopefully I can help you make a decision on what reel is best for you. So let's get right into it. Let's open up the Shimano SLX XT, talk a little bit about it, and then we'll move on to the DC, and then maybe some key takeaways of differences between the two. Unbox these things. The only thing you're going to get is the box, a user manual, and some reel oil, so I don't really want to take the time to go over that. Here I have the two reels. So this is going to be the Shimano SLX XT that retails for $129.99. This is the Shimano SLX DC, which is going to retail for $189.99. Let's take the DC out of the way and let's talk a little bit about the XT. So the Shimano SLX XT, picked it up for $129.99. Presley's Outdoors in Bartonville. Going to put a link in the description on where you can get this reel. I try to do all my shopping locally. Support your local outdoor sporting goods stores. Their prices are really hard to beat. Do me a favor, please check them out. And I think that you're going to be satisfied with the prices that they have. So again, I picked this up for $129.99. Presley's Outdoors. This is an expansion to the Shimano SLX they came out with last year. That was their $100 reel, their price point reel. And it was honestly a really nice reel. I should have done a review on it when it came out, but I didn't really have the channel up and going. Plain Jane reel, did what you needed to do, meat and potatoes. For $100, I messed around with it all this fishing season, and I have had nothing but good things to say about it. Awesome value. Now, this came out here at the last iCast, and let me tell you, it's for $30. You're getting a lot for that extra $30. So the first thing that I want to talk about on a reel, and this is just any time that I put a reel in my hand, is I want to feel the metal to plastic ratio. So I'm checking things like the star drag, checking the magnetic control knob. I'm checking, looking at my worm gear here, and I'm looking to see if there's anything that's plastic, anything that feels like it's going to be a point of potential, maybe in jeopardizing the overall build quality. And on this reel, I'm not finding a whole lot of anything. Honestly, this reel has got a lot of metal parts to it. The things that I look for in a reel, it's all meeting my expectations and then honestly exceeding them. This weighs 7.2 ounces, so it's not the lightest reel in the market, and it's not the heaviest. I've never been the kind of person who gets too into reel weights because I don't notice it when I fish. Even in a normal, an 8-hour tournament fishing all day, I don't notice that a reel is a tenth of an ounce lighter or heavier than another one. So I don't get too caught up in that. Sex appeal, the way the reel looks, love the way that this is going. So the color tone that's sticking with the SLX line is that anodized blue, and I love that. For me, I don't really get too worried about like a color. I just don't want it to be like a neon green or a chartreuse. I don't want a gaudy color. I know it doesn't affect the performance. It's kind of cosmetic, but at the end of the day, I want all the rods on my deck to look relatively uniform, and I don't want some random, vibrant, loud color. So this looks really, really sharp. I love the blue. Feel, quality-wise, build quality-wise, honestly, it's exceptional. I like the way that it feels in my hand. One thing that I want to note is anytime you get these adjustments, these external adjustments, I notice and I want to pay close attention to how they feel in the palm of my hand. Some of the reels will actually put that dial in a place that will actually rub against your index finger, which when you're fishing jerkbaits on a rainy day in cold weather, you're going to notice it in the long haul. It'll actually wear against your finger and it'll cause problems. So that, although it's large in size, you won't feel it because it's actually not only seated in the reel itself, but they did it in a way that it sets in the meat of your hand and you're really not going to notice it. The main difference between this, money-wise, between this reel at 130 and what you're going to get for the normal SLX at 100 is you're going to get the affinity adjustment here on the side. So a lot of your Shimano reels, even the ones like the Corrado E series and the Chronarchs, have an internal adjustment here on the spool. So if it's in the up position, sorry, you can't see that, can you? If it's in the up position, it is off. If it's in the down position, it's on. For the most part, I'm going to put 2 on, 2 off, or 1 on, 3 off. Again, it depends on what rod and reel that I'm going to put it on. As long as you don't switch applications weight-wise, like go from throwing a shaky head to throwing a 3/4 ounce swim bait, once you get those things set, for the most part, you can leave them there as long as you don't change your reel or change an extreme weight adjustment. This adjustment here is really nice because it allows you to fine-tune it. So if you maybe go into fishing on a windy day, or you maybe want to throw a little bit lighter, a little bit heavier, weight, and you don't want to go in and take that side plate off and, adjust it there, you have the ability to adjust it here. And versus the magnetic adjustment, that's going to really help you on your front end of your cast. I have always been a thought that, the magnets really help kind of on the back end of the overall duration of a cast, but the side plate adjustments here are going to help you for that initial cast to not have the, what I would call detonation backlash. So for $139, or $129, excuse me, it is an awesome reel. Extremely, extremely happy with it. I think it's worth the extra money to get you those side plate adjustments to allow you to kind of finesse it on a day-to-day basis and on a bait-to-bait basis. Switching over here to the SLX DC. The SLX DC, again, that's going to be a $189.99 reel. That still has the adjustment here on the side, like the affinity style adjustment. Sat a little bit more forward. It's not as prominent. Again, the color-wise, they look really, really slick. This one's going to be more of a black, where this is kind of a gunmetal gray. Awesome reel as well. The main thing that you're going to pay for on this reel here is you're paying for that DC technology. Now, to talk briefly about the DC technology came out about a year ago now, and what it does is, and you can look on Shimano's website, they have a really good graphic that actually shows you how it works on the inside, but the way it works is it takes a spool and it actually uses the spool's speed to power a little solenoid, and that solenoid is going to monitor the speed of the spool. And if the reel thinks that the little chip inside this reel thinks that the spool is spinning too fast, it's going to slow it down. And if it doesn't think it's spinning too fast, it'll leave it alone. So what does that mean? You basically have the electronic means and methods of controlling this reel. So it's going to be a comparison that I can think of would be like a stick versus an automatic. This is going to automatically control the speed and spool without using any thumb control at all. So at first when it came out, I was really skeptical about it. I didn't think it was going to be worth the money. I didn't think it would work. I thought it was all going to be marketing. But after messing with them, I really tried to prove a rep wrong, and man, does it really work. Honestly, I sat in the parking lot and I whipped the reel around and made reckless casts. I put 2 heavier baits on 2 lighter rods, and I really didn't backlash the reel at all. I had a couple instances where I bullwhipped it. And what I mean by that is I started my backward momentum and I went forward with before the bait had actually loaded up on the rod, the same way you would crack a whip. And I did get a little bit of a backlash, but none of the backlashes that I got were bad to the point where I was like, I'm going to have to cut the line out, which is incredible. So for new users, that is an awesome, awesome feature. If you're looking at maybe getting your first bait casting reel, at $189, it's super overpriced reel by any stretch of imagination. It's palatable for most people, even new users. And to have a reel that's going to make those adjustments for you is huge, because using a bait caster for a lot of people, especially if you're transitioning to like an open face or a spinning reel, it's a lot. I mean, it can be very stressful. It can be a long day on the water. And a lot of times people can get turned off by using a bait caster before they even have learned to master it. So to be able to start on a reel like this, it's going to give you so much of a bonus in the fact that it's, again, it's taking so much of the pressure off you, is really, really critical. Another thing that I really like about this reel, an aspect of it, even if maybe you're not a new user of a bait caster, is if you're a one rod, one reel guy. So if I'm going farm pond fishing and maybe I want to take a 7'3" medium heavy, and I might throw a spinnerbait, I might throw a jig, I might throw a frog, I might throw maybe a little Texas rig on a 1/4 ounce weight. That's the easiest way to, in my opinion, backlash a reel. A seasoned veteran would backlash a reel if you take a reel and you switch bait weights on such a large scale like that, and you don't think about it. So if I'm throwing, say, a quarter ounce little shaky head or a 16th ounce shaky head, I'm throwing it around on a bait caster, so I got all my brakes backed off, my magnetic backed off, and I got everything backed off. And I think, oh man, I just saw it blow up. And I turn around, I put on a Zero Spook, and I go to cast this reel, the same rod, and I don't adjust anything on the reel, and all of a sudden I just have a disaster on my hand. This is the only reel I brought because I packed in on a farm pond fishing adventure. And it can really put a damper on your day because you're such in the moment and you don't think about making small little casts to get this reel adjusted to the bait that you're using. This is a really sweet technology because it avoids that incident where you have a lapse in judgment and you don't think about making any adjustments on your side plate here or inside your spool. Again, awesome technology. This technology was offered on the Corrado DC, but again, you're talking well over $200 at that point. So they wanted people to experience that internal computer regulated spool technology at a lower price. They want people to know what it's about, to see how really truly great it is. So they came out with the SLX line with that technology. Again, I'm really impressed with it. If you or maybe someone you know, your dad or your little brother, somebody has never used a bait caster before, this is an awesome reel to get them started. It's one of the cheapest reels they have available right now with that DC technology. It's going to completely, I'm not going to say completely eliminate backlashes, but it's going to reduce the amount of backlashes you have by such a large margin. It will make learning a bait caster palatable. So again, both these reels are exceptional. I'm very happy with both of them. Shimano knocked it out of the park on both of them. Again, this one's going to retail, the SLX XT is going to retail for $129.99. The SLX DC, $189.99. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. The Shimano SLX XT and the Shimano SLX DC, two awesome reels. If you're in the market to pick up a new baitcaster, definitely check them out. If you've already got them, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. If there's a question I didn't answer and you're maybe wanting to know something I didn't cover or go over and I can help you, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I will get back to you within an hour or two, and I'll let you know, hopefully I can help you one way or the other. As always, have a blessed day in the outdoors. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more content like this, always like, comment, subscribe. It makes, taking the time out of my day to do these kinds of videos worth it. So, again, as always, have a blessed day in the outdoors. That's it. Peace.